So I was asked by a friend of mine, YouTube friend, Facebook friend, if I would do the Translators to the Reader again. So the last night and the night before last, well, the morning before last night, but whatever it was, I tried. I got so sleepy. I was like, I was just doing this. Then last night when I was trying to do it, or yesterday morning, as I was trying to do it early yesterday morning, I was I, I was trying to look through the phone and that doesn't work. So this time I'm gonna try it and see how well I do in it. And so what I'm gonna do is instead of looking at the text of the phone, I'm gonna bring it close to my face because I'm nearsighted, so I don't have bifocals. We get the page ready so I can turn it really easy. So anyway, this is the Translators to the Reader of the Authorized version of 1611, and of course it stands for the other editions which came after. It's translators giving their reason why they had to have one more exact version of the Holy Scriptures in English. So it says the best things have been calumniated. So there we go. That's a mouthful of words. Look up. So I'm going to read this chapter. Well, actually, it's not a chapter. It's just that title, subject, that topic, whatever it is. I'm going to read that, and then I'll go to other ones as I go along throughout however long a period. I don't know, but I'm going to put it over to my translators to the reader and probably label those as years. And when I did one the first time I did it as opposed to this time, I probably ain't got no better at it. But anyway, so it says the best things have been calumniated. Zeal to promote the common good, whether it be by devising anything ourselves or revising that which hath been labored by others, deserveth certainly much respect and esteem, but yet findeth but cold entertainment in the world. It is welcome with suspicion instead of love, and with emulation instead of thanks. And if there be any hole left for cavil to enter, and cavil, if it do not find a hole, will make one, it is sure to be misconstrued and in danger to be condemned. This will easily be granted by as many as know story or have any experience. And I have to use my finger to kind of make sure I'm not overlap my reading. For was there ever anything projected that savored any way of newness or renewing, but the same endured many a storm of gainsaying or opposition? A man would think that civility, wholesome laws, learning and eloquence, synods, and church maintenance, that we speak of no more things of this kind, should be as safe as a sanctuary and out of shot, as they say, that no man will lift up the heel, no, nor dog move his tongue against the motioners of them. For by the first we are distinguished from brute beasts led with sensuality. By the second we are bridled and restrained from outrageous behavior, and for doing of the injuries, whether by fraud or by violence. By the third we are enabled to inform and reform others by the light and feeling that we have attained unto ourselves. Briefly, by the fourth, being brought together to a parley face to face, we sooner compose our differences than by writings, which are endless. And lastly, that the church be sufficiently provided for is so agreeable to good reason and conscience, that those mothers are holden to be less cruel than kill their children as soon as they are born, than those hang upon their breasts, and upon whose breasts again themselves do hang to receive the spiritual and sincere milk of the word, livelihood and support fit for their estates. Thus it is apparent that these things which we speak of are of most necessary use, and therefore that none, either without absurdity, can speak against them, or without note of wickedness can spurn against them. Yet, for all that, the learned know that certain worthy men have been brought to untimely death for none other fault, but for seeking to reduce their countrymen to good order and discipline, and that in some commonwealths it was made a capital crime once to motion the making of a new law for the abrogating of an old, though the same were most pernicious, and that certain with wood which would be counted pillars of the state and patterns of virtue and prudence could not be brought for a long time to give way to good letters and refined speech, but bear themselves as averse from them as from rocks or boxes of poison. And fourthly, that he was no babe, but a great clerk that gave forth, and in writing to remain to posterity, and passion peradventure, but yet he gave forth, that he had not seen any profit to come by any synod or meeting of the clergy, but rather the contrary. And lastly, against church maintenance and allowance, in such sort as the ambassadors and messengers of the great King of Kings should be furnished. It is not unknown what a fiction or fable, so it is esteemed, and for not better by the reporter himself, though superstitious, was devised, namely, that at such time as the professors and teachers of Christianity in the Church of Rome, then a true church, were liberally endowed, a voice forsooth was heard from heaven, saying, now was poison poured down into the church, etc. Thus, not only as oft as we speak, as one saith, but also as oft as we do anything of note or consequence, we subject ourselves to every one's censure. And happy is he that is least tossed upon tongues, for utterly to escape the snatch of them it is impossible. If any man conceit that this is the lot and portion of the meaner sort only, and that the princes are privileged by their high estate, he is deceived, as the sword devoureth as well as one as another. And it is in Samuel, nay, as in the great commander changes soldiers into a certain battle, charges soldiers to a certain battle, to strike at no part of the enemy, but at the face. And as the king of Syria commanded his chief captains to strike neither with small nor great, save only against the king of Israel. So it is too true that envy striketh most spitefully at the fairest and at the chiefest. David was a worthy prince, and no man to be compared to him for his first deeds, and yet for as worthy in act as ever he did, even from bringing back the ark of God in solemnity, he was scorned and scoffed at by his own wife. Solomon was greater than David, though not in virtue, yet in power. And by his power and wisdom he built a temple to the Lord, such a one as was the glory of the land of Israel, and the wonder of the whole world. But was that his magnificence like of Baal? We doubt of it. Otherwise, why do they lay it in his son's dish, and call unto him for a easing of the burden? Make, say they, the grievous servitude of thy father, and the end of his sore yoke lighter. Be like he had charged them with some levies, and troubled them with some carriages. Hereupon they raise up a tragedy, and wish it in their heart the temple had never been built. So hard a thing it is to please all, even when we please God best, and do seek to approve ourselves to everyone's conscience. So if you ever heard what Abraham Lincoln said, you can please some of the people some of the time, but you can't please all the people all the time. So I like that right there. Hopefully you understood what I said, because when you're reading it and everything, you just kind of go, and you hear certain words, how they're framed, it's a lot easier. So anyway, there we are with the best things have been calumniated. And I could do another one here because it's shorter, but I'm gonna wait on that. I might follow up and do another one. So hope you enjoyed this one. We'll see you later. God bless.